Alright, so I got a new product that I'm coming out with, and so I'm going to go with wood packaging again, but my new stamp, or my old stamp, is absolutely massive for this little guy, so I'm going to do a new stamp. I had someone, Dub Manufacturing on Instagram, actually made my old stamp out of rubber on his laser, and but I'd like to get some packaging out sooner than I could get a stamp, so I'm trying to 3D print some prototypes. So I got this one here, which made this little mark. This is just the outline. I think it looks alright. And I got this one, which is just solid. This one's obviously a lot easier to stamp, just because there's less surface area, so it presses into the paper easier. Since I don't have rubber, and I don't have a laser to cut it or anything, I'm going to try to use a 3D printed stamp until I can get a real stamp. Which I think this turned out okay. It looks like I might need to, like, the corners are a little rounded. I think I might need to trim the stamp a little. I also tried debossing, I think that's what it's called, where I took this thing, put it in a vise, and just sprayed this with a little tiny bit of water, and then clamped the heck out of it. I thought it turned out really nice, actually. It's a lot of work though, to get it aligned, and I would have to put the seam on this side because it only fits so far into a vise, and I don't really have anything else to clamp with it, or clamp it in. So that's a cool option for the future though. Works really well with a 3D printed stamp. I don't know how much force I put on it, but it was a lot. I put it in a 4-inch Shars machining vise, and literally like stood on the handle as I to tighten it down. That turned out nice. So yeah, I'm gonna go with something like this. The only thing it's very hard to get this. I actually did this in my press, which I don't really want to have to do every time. So I think I might try to find something to put underneath the cardstock to make the cardstock give a little bit instead of the stamp giving, so that it will conform, because it's really hard to get the center of like the big triangle and stuff to put the ink down on top of the paper. It's kind of weird, but so I'm gonna see if I can find a solution for that. Alright, it's several minutes later. I tried using this nice thick Harbor Freight knee pad thing to help, but it didn't actually help. I think it was this one. Yeah, it didn't help with the logo pressure. It still didn't put down the center of the logo. So I might have to go with the outline version, at least for the first boxes, which I think it looks fine. The one thing I'm going to do, since the ink likes to bleed into the other ink, or it likes to bleed into the paper, I think what I'm going to do is bring the outlines in a little bit, so there's a little bit more white space between the pieces. But other than that, I think it's I think it'll work fine. I don't want these to look absolutely perfect. I think that it adds a little bit of handmade aesthetic to it. That's why I do the packaging the way I do it. No one else does this, as far as I know. Definitely no big companies do this because it's just too much labor. But I think it's nice. Obviously I'm going to get some crisper corners on this one. This one I just rolled up real quick. But I think it looks pretty nice. So I'm going to go, well, the 3D printer is running for the next 5 hours, but I'm going to go design a new stamp. Is that the right size? I think that's a good size. I'm going to design a new stamp that's sturdier and with the outlines different. And yeah, hopefully this will work, at least for the prototypes. Get some nice packaging pictures and stuff like that. And then, yeah, start making some new wood inserts. Alright, I'm going to level with you. I don't like the line. So I'm going to try debossing again in a different press. This one's not very strong, but I'm gonna see if I can get it to work anyway. Got my water, a little 3D printed clamp here. All right, let's try this again. So, a little spray. A little too much there. Need a finer mist than that to do it really good. Man, it's not where I needed it to be. That's super wet. God. Okay, starting again from the other side. Adjust the spray here. That's the problem with these sprays. You can't get a nice even mist. There. See, if I could get this to work, I could live with something like this, you know? I really like that debossing though, it looks amazing. I don't even know if that's what it's called. Someone please correct me if it's wrong. It's just cool. I'll let this sit here for a second and see what happens. I have a thought that this will, yeah, it's not closing evenly. Not exactly what you want. It's not going to leave an even pressing. Yeah, see, back end's very pressed in, front is not. So that seems to be one of the keys. Just right like that, and all the way down at the closest to the bottom as I can get it. I found the water is a must for softening it enough. Oh my gosh, really? Come on, yeah? The paper's lifting it, that's what it is. Come on. Get in there. Alright. Try this again. Alright. Might need some sort of press that has more than one screw. Something I could build, maybe just out of nuts and bolts and some metal plates. That would probably work pretty well. You can exert a lot of force with just a fine threaded screw, so it's definitely an option. Alright, I think that's probably good enough. Oh boy. Ooh. Right. Well, dang it, it bled the ink out. It did leave a nice debossing though. Yeah, there's a bunch of ink all over this thing still. Oops. As you can see, lots of ink still. You can see it got some depth. I just need something that's relatively, like, I can make it work. So I'm going to do like some sort of probably 3D printed guide so that like you can't really screw up the dimensions, and I got to figure out some sort of press. But I really like the way this looks, so I'll probably be moving forward with this instead of the other one. Sorry for the bad camera angles. I'm 3D printing a mount for my camera or my phone and my light and microphone right now, so it'll hopefully get better. Alright, cool. Nice. The pressing saga continues. Alright, so I held a vote on Instagram for which packaging. I kind of like the outline version. But most people didn't, I guess. To me, this looks more like the engraving that's on the knife. So, this one needed a lot more force to push in with the press. So I'm going to use my Arbor press, which I use normally for pressing Kydex eyelets. So I've never bolted this down because you don't really need it with Kydex. So I'm going to pop a hole, 1/2 inch hole. I'm just going to put one bolt in because, I mean, realistically, don't really need that much strength. And I'm not going to tighten it all the way, and that way I can rotate it at whatever angle I feel is comfortable to use. And I can always move it, it's no big deal. But I just got a piece of 1/2" all thread. I'm going to drill a hole and put it in. Before I put it on a drill, I'm going to use these nylock nuts so it doesn't come undone, since it's not going to be tightened all the way. Hope it's long enough. Should be just about the right length. Alright. Oops. Let's see what size this is. It made 7/8. No, 3/4. Wow. Wow, 18 millimeters doesn't even fit. That's crazy. Alright, we'll find something else then. Ye old crescent. Alright, now I gotta get over there. It just occurred to me that I need to move the workbench. And now, this is why you put wheels on everything. So now this is going to make this a piece of cake. Just got to wheel it out. Alright, let's try this out. I got it in place. Works slick. You can rotate this out of the way. I frequently have stuff on my workbench that, I just don't like stuff that takes up tons of space, because I don't have much space. So, let's try to stamp something with this Arbor press. I think it's going to work pretty good. Or pretty well, I should say. Alright. I need to print a new stamp. But here it is. Let's see what it looks like on camera. Just 3D print. I need to sharpen up the corners, or just make one that's machined instead. Another option, if you're using a 3D printer, would be to print this in the other direction, so that because the smallest corner I can possibly make with my printer is 0.4 millimeters without changing nozzles. But if you print it the other direction to where the layers are going this way, you can make much sharper corners, but you are limited in the angles that you can print, because you're gonna have overhangs essentially with this design. I'm sure someone could figure that out much better than me. I'm not really that big into 3D printing, but I do use it all the time. Alright, so let's grab our distilled water, spray this. That was not a good mist. These bottles, man, they're not great. Too much water. Or so I tell myself. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is get that thing right centered over it. Put this block on there. Ooh. Wow, that's pretty firm. Nice defined. Let's see. Debossing. Let's see what that looks like when it dries out. Let me try it on a dry piece, see what it does. I'm going to need to make a stamp holder. I'm going to 3D print the next one too, I think, just try it out for a while before I machine something. I think I'm going to glue this to a piece of aluminum and then put a pin in it so that it fits in here, because this is my normal Kydex eyelet die that I stick in here and a set screw holds it in. That would be nice, because then it would hold it automatically. and I could set the angle and stuff. Let's try this. Hold that. I feel like I need a longer handle. What if I got one laying around? I don't see any tubes. I feel like this thing's gonna break loose and I'm gonna smack my elbows into the table. Alright. Yeah. The water really helps with the definition. Oh, you can see it. The lighting. Yeah, the water really helps. It's way deeper. I think it's more of a... I'm not sure if it's helping soften the paper. I mean, obviously it is helping soften the paper, but it's probably more of a... It expands the paper around it a little bit. Kind of both. It allows you to get good definition, I'm guessing. So that's probably what I'll go with, and we'll see what happens. Right now, tonight, I have to finish... Oh boy. Okay, I gotta get at least 2 of the new knives done, finished, and sent to my friend in Boise, who's gonna do a bunch of photos for me. Yeah, because he's a good photographer and has beautiful scenery to take advantage of as far as photography is concerned. So, yeah. So this is good. This will be nicer for me in general, this new setup. So I can switch back over to doing Kydex eyelets really fast. Like that. Obviously, got to screw that set screw down, but cool. Winner of a short project. Although this bolt is actually still too short. I can't believe it. It's crazy. Let me see if I can get some more all thread or just a longer bolt in general. Alright, thank you guys for watching. And if you got any questions, put them down in the comments. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.